You might be asking yourself, what exactly are the differences that separate IRES from the average contingency staffing firm? For starters, we almost never work on a contingency staffing project. The term contingency means that companies don't pay a fee until the hire takes place. Therefore, the fee is contingent upon the hire. It sounds great, but it's actually a very loose-knit relationship. The search firm can or may not work on your position on a particular week. They may be spending only 1, 2, 3 hours a week, skipping weeks in between, and may be spread to the point where they have 20 to 30 concurrent searches that they're working on. This becomes necessary in order to offset risk. Since they're bankrolling and financing the search, under a contingency arrangement, they're required and almost forced to work on increasing number of contingency searches to offset the risk of each individual search represents. Secondly, they could be shopping candidates that they originally found for you to your direct competitor. That's not something you really want. They can search to go to your competitor for maybe more money or better fee or better terms, if it turns out that the original client is not being responsive in the eyes of the contingency staffing firm. Almost all the complaints that originate about recruiting firms all come from the fact that it was a contingency relationship. They didn't really have to work on your position if they chose not to. With IRES, almost all of the work that we conduct on an annual basis is either retained or engaged. What does that mean? Most of our clients receive the candidate finalist slate within 14 to 21 days. Every single one of our retained searches in 2013 was filled within 90 days. This is a tremendous difference from the experience that most companies derive from working with a standard contingency staffing firm. I actually explain the differences between contingency staffing and engaged and retained in a book that I wrote, Maximizing Search Firm Success. It's available on Amazon.com. It would only take someone an hour or two to read this book. It's very compact, thinly written, to get to the point, quick for busy executives. I suggest this as a good reading, considering that the return on investment that a client can derive from a candidate hired from a retained search firm can be 1,000 to 5,000%. Compare that with every $10,000 that you're putting in your 401k, where you might be lucky to get 5 or 6, 7, 8%, and that's on good years. The return on investment that clients stand to derive from a recruiting firm are much, much greater. In fact, the average IRES candidate that we've placed in recent years delivers $1.5 million in measurable impact to our clients' bottom line, either by more revenue, more sales, marketing, underwriting, or other attributes and other characteristics that they brought to the process.